Introduction. The respiratory system has two roles. Firstly, it brings oxygen into the body so that it can help to produce energy aerobically. Secondly, it expels carbon dioxide, a waste product that is created in the muscles when we exercise. Key term. Inhale. We inhale air when we breathe in. The process of inhaling is called inhalation. Exhale. We exhale air when we breathe out. The process of exhaling is called exhalation.
The respiratory system includes the nose, nasal cavity, paranasal sinuses, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and lungs, which contain little sacs called alveoli. All of these components belong to one of two zones. There is the respiratory zone, which is where gas is exchanged within the lungs, and the conducting zone, which is all the rest, where air comes in and out of the body. Starting with the nose, we probably know that air enters through the nostrils, and since we've already touched on other structural aspects of the nose earlier in the series, we will jump straight to the nasal cavity. This is separated from the oral cavity by the palate, which has two sections, the bony hard palate and the muscular soft palate. We can also see the nasal vestibule with hairs for filtering, as well as three nasal conchi, which are mucosa-covered projections, separated by nasal meatuses. These serve to filter, heat, and moisten the air. The nasal cavity is surrounded by the paranasal sinuses, which produce mucus that flows into the nasal cavity.
The composition of the air that we breathe. It is important to note that the air we breathe in, or inhale, and the air that we breathe out, or exhale, is the same air. It is simply the gas content of that air that changes while it is in our lungs. We can see by looking at these 0.1 pie charts that there is more oxygen in inhaled air than there is in exhaled air. We can also see that there is more carbon dioxide in the air we breathe out. The mechanics of breathing. Inhalation. 1. The diaphragm and intercostal muscles contract. 2. The diaphragm flattens and pulls the bottom of the lungs down. 3. The intercostal muscles pull the ribs and, therefore, the lungs outwards. 4. The lungs increase in size and the air pressure inside the lungs is reduced. 5. The air pressure outside the body is now higher than the air pressure inside the body. Air travels from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure, and so air is pulled into the lungs. Exhalation. 1. The diaphragm and intercostal muscles relax. 2. The diaphragm moves back up into a dome shape. 3. The relaxed intercostal muscles allow the ribs and lungs to move inwards. 4. The lungs reduce in size and the air pressure inside the lungs is increased. 5. The air pressure outside the body is now lower than the air pressure inside the body. Air travels from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure, so air leaves the lungs. It is a common misunderstanding that the lungs work like a balloon. They do not. With a balloon, the air being blown and makes the balloon get bigger. The air pushes out the sides of the balloon. With the lungs, muscles actively change the size of the chest cavity, which stretches the lungs and pulls air in. Before the end of the presentation, do you need to answer of this activity? Activity 13. Make a lung model and describe what happens to the lungs when inflating and deflating as a person inhales and exhales.